Hello grade 3! Today we will learn how to measure time intervals. Are you ready? You already know how to tell time to the nearest minute, use AM and PM, and count minutes by fives or ones. How can you measure elapsed time in minutes? First, let's learn what is elapsed time. Elapsed time is a time interval. It is the amount of time that passes from the start of an activity to the end of an activity. So it's the amount of time that went by from the start to finish of an event. What are the steps to measure elapsed time? We should find the starting time of the event. We can use a number line, an analog clock, or subtraction. Then we count the minutes to the ending time of the event. To find the elapsed time, you should find the start time and the end time of the event. Let's start with this problem. Sally is visiting her grandmother. She arrived at her grandma's house at 4:10 p.m. and she left at 4:41 p.m. For how long did Sally stay at her grandmother's house? So what do we know? We know that she arrived at 4:10 p.m., which is the start time of the visit. And we know that she left at 4:41 p.m., which is the end time of the visit. What do we need to find? We need to find for how long did Sally stay at her grandmother's house? Which means it's the time that went by from the moment Sally arrived at her grandma's house to the time she left. One way to solve this problem is by using a clock. First, we look for the start time, which is 4:10. Then we count on the minutes by fives and ones to 4:41, so we must stop here. Let's start counting on by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And one more minute is 31. So the elapsed time from 4:10 to 4:41 is 31 minutes. The elapsed time or the time interval for the visit was 31 minutes. We can say that Sally visited her grandma for 31 minutes, or the visit lasted for 31 minutes. Let's try to find the elapsed time another way. Laura watched a movie that began at 3:15 p.m. and ended at 3:48 p.m. How long did the movie last? So we know the start time, which is 3:15, and we know the end time, which is 3:48. We still have to find the amount of time that passes from the start of the movie to the end of the movie, which is the elapsed time. One way to solve the problem is to use a number line. We find the start time on the number line, which is 3:15, and we count on to the ending time, which is 3:48. Let's start counting on by tens for each 10-minute interval of time. 3:15 plus 10 more minutes, 3:25, plus 10 more minutes, it's 3:35, plus 10 more minutes, it's 3:45. As we're getting closer to the end time, we start counting on by ones for each 1-minute interval of time. 3:45 plus 1 more minute, 3:46, plus 1 more minute, it's 3:47, plus 1 more minute is 3:48. The jumps on the number line show the minutes from 3:15 to 3:48. Now let's add the total minutes. So it's 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 33. So how long is the elapsed time from 3:15 to 3:48? The elapsed time from 3:15 p.m. to 3:48 p.m. is 33 minutes. so the movie lasted 33 minutes. Another way to solve the problem is by using subtraction. To find the elapsed time, we can subtract the start time from the end time. Just make sure to line up the hours and the minutes in column correctly. Start with the end time, which is 3:48, minus the start time, which is 3:15. It's 33. So 3:48 minus 3:15, it's 33 minutes. So the elapsed time is 33 minutes. We found the same answer in two different ways. Now, how can you find a starting time or an ending time when you know the elapsed time? We can find an ending time if we know the starting time and the elapsed time. And we can find a starting time if we know the ending time and the elapsed time. We can use a number line or a clock. Let's solve this problem. Jack started his workouts at 2:30 p.m. He did push-ups for 30 minutes and he did some squats for 14 minutes. What do we know? We know the start time, which is 2:30 p.m. We know that he spent 30 minutes and 14 minutes on his workouts, which is the elapsed time. What do we need to find? We need to find at what time did Jack finish his workouts, which is the end time. We will use a number line. On the number line, we'll start by labeling the start time, which is 2:30 p.m. And then we will count forward to add the elapsed time. The problem says that Jack spent 30 minutes doing push-ups. To show this, we'll jump 30 minutes from 2:30 to 3 p.m. Then Jack spent 14 minutes doing squats. We'll jump 14 minutes. We can break apart 14 minutes into shorter amounts of time. We'll jump 10 minutes from 3 to 3:10 p.m. Then we'll jump 4 more minutes from 3:10 to 3:14. The jumps end at 3:14 p.m. So Jack finished his workouts at 3:14 p.m. Let's solve this problem. Whitney swam laps in the pool for 35 minutes. She finished swimming at 9:50 a.m. At what time did Whitney start swimming? What do we know? We know that she finished at 9:50. It's the end time. And we know that she swam for 35 minutes. It's the elapsed time. What do we need to find? We need to find at what time did Whitney start swimming. It's the start time. So let's try to solve this problem using a clock. This clock is showing 9:50. We will count backward by 5s 35 minutes to find the start time. Let's start counting. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Now the hour hand is between 9 and 10, and the minute hand is pointing at 3, so it's 9:15. Whitney started swimming at 9:15 a.m. Do you want to check your answer? Use another way. Let's try to solve this problem using a number line. So we will start by labeling the end time, and we will jump backward to subtract the elapsed time. I will break apart the elapsed time into 10, 10, 10, and 5. So 9:50 and 10 minutes ahead, it was 9:40. 10 minutes ahead was 9:30. 10 minutes ahead was 9:20. 5 minutes ahead, it's 9:15. So the answer is 9:15. because the jumps end at 9:15. So the start time was 9:15. Same answer we got before. We're done for today. Take care. Bye.